My wife. She glanced at the new car and smirked. My ex drove a better brand at 23. I handed the keys back. Impressive. That afternoon, I quietly let go of something she never thought I would. I placed a single envelope on the piano when she finally opened it. I'm 35, married for 7 years, and I just learned that some people will compare you to ghosts from their past until you become invisible in their present. Last Saturday morning, I drove home with a car I'd been saving for. Not a luxury vehicle, but decent. A reliable sedan, new, good safety ratings, something that made sense for our family. We'd been talking about replacing my old car for months. She'd agreed it was time, said she trusted my judgment. I took that at face value. I pulled into the driveway around 11 a.m. She was in the front yard with her coffee, checking her phone. Looked up when she heard the engine. I got out, feeling good about the purchase, about being responsible, about taking care of something that needed taking care of. What do you think? She walked around it once, didn't smile, didn't say congratulations or thanks for handling this, just walked around it with this expression I couldn't quite read. It's fine. Just fine? She shrugged. My ex drove a better brand at 23. I stood there holding the keys, processing what she'd just said, how she'd said it, the casual dismissiveness, the comparison to someone from over a decade ago. Impressive. What? That he had a better car at 23, very impressive. I'm just saying you're 35. I expected something more. I handed her the keys. You should keep these then, since I clearly made the wrong choice. Don't be dramatic. It's a nice car. I'm just saying it could have been nicer. Compared to your ex. Compared to what we could afford if you'd wanted to actually impress me. I walked inside. Didn't slam the door. Didn't yell. Just walked inside and sat in my home office for about 20 minutes trying to understand what had just happened. This wasn't the first comparison. Over the past year, her ex had become a frequent reference point. How he'd been more ambitious at my age. How he'd traveled more. How he'd taken risks I wouldn't take. Always casual, always just a comment, never quite crossing the line into obvious cruelty, but adding up, accumulating, building into something I'd been trying to ignore. I opened my desk drawer, pulled out a folder I'd been keeping for about 3 months, documents I'd started organizing after a conversation with a lawyer friend over beers. Nothing serious, he'd said. Just good to have your ducks in a row, just in case. I'd told him I was being paranoid, that we were fine, that every marriage has rough patches. He'd looked at me and said, if you're thinking about talking to a lawyer, you're not being paranoid, you're being awake. I pulled out the envelope I'd prepared, sealed, ready to go. Had been sitting in that drawer for 2 weeks while I tried to decide if I was overreacting, if I was being too sensitive, if I should just communicate better. The car comment made my decision for me. I went downstairs. She was in the living room now, scrolling through her phone on the couch. The piano sat against the far wall, where she practiced most evenings. She was proud of that piano. Played since childhood, kept it beautifully maintained, frequently talked about how it was one of the most important things in her life. I placed the envelope on the piano bench, plain white envelope, her name on it in my handwriting. She looked up. What's that? Something you should read when you're ready. What is it? Read it when you're ready. I grabbed my laptop bag, my phone charger, and my keys to the old car that was apparently so disappointing. Left before she could ask more questions. Checked into a hotel about 30 minutes away. Not far, just far enough to think clearly. Texted her, taking some space, read the envelope, we'll talk after. Update 1. She called 17 times in the first hour. I didn't answer. She texted, what is this about? Why are you being so dramatic? Is this because of the car comment? I was joking. You're seriously leaving over a joke? Call me back. This is ridiculous. I turned my phone on, Do Not Disturb, and ordered room service. Around 8 p.m., My phone showed 32 missed calls. I turned it back on just to check texts. One from her, time-stamped about 20 minutes ago. I opened it. Nothing else. I waited. 10 minutes later. We need to talk. Me. I said we'd talk after. I meant after I'm ready, not after you're ready. Her. This is insane. You can't just leave separation papers and disappear. Me. I can, and I did. You wanted more. You kept comparing me to your ex. You wanted someone more impressive. I'm giving you the opportunity to find that person. Her. I don't want a separation. Me. You've been telling me for a year that I'm not enough. I'm just making it official. Her. I never said that. Me. You've said it 100 different ways. My ex did this better. My ex earned more at this age. My ex drove a better car. My ex traveled more. My ex was more ambitious. I've been listening. I got the message. Her. Those were just comments. Me. Those were comparisons, and I'm tired of losing to a ghost. She didn't text back after that for a while. Around 10 p.m. Can you at least come home so we can talk face to face? Me. Not yet. Read the papers. Think about whether you actually want this marriage or if you're just comfortable. Her. Of course I want this marriage. Me. Then why do you keep telling me I'm not enough? No response to that. I slept better than I had in months. Update 2. Sunday morning, my phone woke me up at 7 a.m. Her mother calling. I debated answering, decided to get it over with. What's going on? She called me crying last night. We're having problems. I'm taking some space to think. She said you left separation papers on the piano. I did. Over what? A comment about a car? It's not about the car. It's about a pattern. She's been comparing me to her ex for a year. The car was just the final straw. Everyone makes comparisons sometimes. Not like this, not constantly, not in ways designed to make me feel inadequate. She's just stressed with work. She doesn't mean anything by it. Then she should stop saying it. But she doesn't. Because she does mean it. She's disappointed in who I am. I'm not interested in spending my life with someone who wishes I was someone else. You're throwing away 7 years over some comments? I'm acknowledging 7 years of trying to be enough for someone who's made it clear I'm not. That's not throwing away. That's accepting reality. She loves you. She loves the idea of me being different. That's not the same thing. Talk to her. Work it out. That's what marriage is. Marriage is two people choosing each other. She's been choosing a memory of someone else. I'm just making space for her to be honest about that. I hung up, turned off my phone completely, spent Sunday reading, watching TV, ordering food in. Peaceful. No comments about what I ordered, how I could have ordered something better, how someone else would have made a different choice. Just me, making decisions, living with them, not being compared to anyone. It felt good, really good. Update 3 Monday morning. I turned my phone back on. 46 missed calls. I scrolled through texts. Her, mostly. Her mother again, her sister, my own mother, who she'd apparently recruited, a friend from work who she'd convinced I was having some kind of crisis. The manipulation was impressive, I'll give her that. I called my mom first. Are you okay? She said you're not acting like yourself. I'm acting exactly like myself, for the first time in a long time. She said you left over a misunderstanding. She told me my new car wasn't good enough compared to what her ex drove at 23. That wasn't a misunderstanding. That was her telling me who she thinks I should be. That's not a reason to leave a marriage. It's the reason that made me acknowledge all the other reasons. Mom, she's been comparing me to him for over a year. Nothing I do is good enough. I'm always falling short of this perfect memory she's built up. I can't compete with a ghost. I shouldn't have to. Have you tried counseling? I've tried communicating. She doesn't listen. She just tells me I'm being sensitive when I point out the comparisons. I'm done trying to convince someone I'm worth keeping without modifications. What do the separation papers say? 6-month separation. We maintain separate residences, separate finances. At the end of 6 months, we decide if we want to divorce or reconcile. If we reconcile, we do it in counseling with professional help. If we divorce, we've had time to prepare and do it civilly. That's very calculated. I've been thinking about this for months. Since the comparisons started getting worse, I consulted with a lawyer friend, got my ducks in a row. The car comment just made me stop waiting. Do you want to save your marriage? I want to save myself. If she can be part of that, great. But I won't do it by continuing to accept being told I'm not enough. I'll support whatever you decide. Thanks, Mom. I called work next. Told them I needed the week off. Personal emergency. They approved it without questions. Then I finally called her. Where are you? Hotel. Come home. Not yet. We need to talk about this face to face. We will. When I'm ready. Right now I'm processing. You should be too. Processing what? You dropped a bomb and ran away. I left papers clearly outlining what I want. That's not running away. That's being clear. You want a separation. I want time apart to figure out if you actually want to be married to me or if you're settling because divorce is inconvenient. I'm not settling. Then why do you keep comparing me to your ex? Why am I never quite good enough? Why does everything I do get measured against some imaginary standard set by someone you dated over a decade ago? I don't do that. You did it Saturday with the car. You've done it dozens of times before. The job comment 3 months ago. The vacation comment in January, the comment about my clothes at your friend's wedding, all comparisons to him, all ways of telling me I'm not measuring up. You're exaggerating. I kept a list, started keeping track about 2 months ago because I thought I might be imagining it. Want to know how many times you've compared me to him in the last 8 weeks? Silence. 17 times. 17 separate occasions where you found a way to mention how he was better, did more, achieved more, impressed more. That's not exaggerating. That's documentation. You've been keeping a list? Because you wouldn't listen when I said it hurt. You'd tell me I was being sensitive. So I started documenting. Turns out, I wasn't being sensitive. I was being accurate. That's insane. That's evidence. Evidence that this marriage isn't working. That you're not happy with who I am. That you wish I was someone else. I don't wish you were someone else. Then stop comparing me to him. Stop telling me how he did things better. Stop making me feel like I'm constantly losing a competition I didn't know I was in. I'll stop. I promise. Just come home. Promising to stop isn't the same as understanding why it's a problem. You need to figure out why you keep doing it. Why you can't let him go. Why I'm not enough as I am. You are enough. Then prove it. Spend the next few weeks thinking about why you feel the need to bring him up. About what you're really looking for. About whether you actually want to be married to me or to some ideal version you've created that doesn't exist. This is cruel. This is necessary. Read the papers. You have my lawyer's information. If you want to fight the terms, do it legally. But I'm not coming back until we both have time to think. I hung up. Update 4. Tuesday afternoon, I got an email from my lawyer friend. She'd had her lawyer contact him, wanted to negotiate terms of the separation. She's asking for you to return home. She'll agree to counseling. She wants to skip the separation and go straight to therapy. No. You sure? That's actually a reasonable compromise. I need space. She needs to understand I'm serious. If I go back now, she'll think she can apologize and nothing changes. I want 6 months. I want her to really think about whether she wants this. Your call. I'll respond accordingly. Wednesday, her sister showed up at the hotel. I don't know how she found me, probably checked hotels near the house until she found my car. She knocked on my door. I opened it but didn't invite her in. This is ridiculous. That seems to be the consensus. She's a mess, crying constantly, Not eating. You're killing her with this. She's uncomfortable. That's different than dying. You're being cruel. I'm being clear. For 7 years I've tried to be enough. It's never been enough. So I'm stepping back and letting her decide if she actually wants me or just wants someone to fill the husband-shaped hole in her life. She wants you. She wants the idea of me being different. She wants me to be more like her ex. I'm not him. I'll never be him. And I'm done trying to compete with a memory. Those comments meant nothing. They meant something to me. They meant she sees me as lacking. I can't be in a marriage where I'm constantly falling short. Everyone has insecurities. This isn't about insecurity. This is about being told repeatedly that I'm not what she wanted. I'm just accepting that truth and giving her space to find what she actually wants. What if what she wants is you? Then she'll spend the next 6 months figuring out why she kept comparing me to someone else, and we'll go to counseling, and maybe we fix this. But I'm not skipping the hard part just because it's uncomfortable. You're punishing her. I'm protecting myself. Big difference. She left. I ordered dinner and watched a movie. Final update. It's been 5 months now. We've been separated the whole time. She moved back to her parents' place after the first month. I got my own apartment, a small 1-bedroom that's just mine. We've done 3 sessions of counseling so far. Started last month after she finally agreed we needed professional help. First session, the therapist asked her why she'd compared me to her ex so frequently. She tried to downplay it, said it wasn't that often. The therapist looked at me. Do you have your documentation? I pulled out my phone, read out 17 examples from just 8 weeks, dates, times, exact quotes. Her face went white. I didn't realize. That's the problem, the therapist said. You weren't conscious of the pattern, but the pattern exists, and it's damaged your partner significantly. Second session, we talked about why she did it. Turns out her ex was the one that got away in her mind. They'd broken up because he'd moved for work, and she hadn't wanted to follow. She'd spent years romanticizing what could have been, built him up into this perfect ideal that no real person could match. I think I wanted you to be him, she admitted. Not consciously. But I wanted you to make me feel the way I remember feeling with him. That's impossible, I said. You were 23. Everything feels different at 23. I can't recreate a feeling from a different time in your life. I can only be me now, as I actually am. Third session, she asked what it would take for me to consider reconciliation. I need to know you actually see me, not a project, not a disappointing substitute for someone else. Me, as I am. With my actual job, my actual car, my actual ambitions. If those aren't enough, then we're not compatible. They're enough. I know that now. Knowing it now isn't the same as knowing it then. I need time to trust that you mean it. That this isn't just you being uncomfortable with separation. We still have a month left in the 6-month period. I haven't decided yet if I want to reconcile. Some days I think maybe we can fix this. Other days I remember how peaceful I felt that first week in the hotel, not being compared to anyone, not being measured against impossible standards. The car is still in our driveway at the house. I bought another cheap used one for myself after I got the apartment. She texted me last week asking if I wanted to drive it since I'd bought it. I told her to sell it if she wanted, or keep it. I didn't care anymore. The car wasn't the point. It never was. She asked what the point was. The point is that you looked at something I'd worked for and immediately thought of someone else. The point is that your first response to my effort was disappointment. The point is that I spent 7 years trying to be enough for you, and you spent at least one of those years telling me I wasn't. She's been in individual therapy too, working on why she idealized her ex, why she couldn't let that relationship go, why she projected those expectations onto me. Her therapist told her she was trying to recapture her youth by finding someone who made her feel young again, that she'd been grieving her 20s and I'd been paying for it. My therapist told me I'd been accepting crumbs of affection while starving for actual appreciation. That I'd normalized being told I wasn't enough because I was afraid of being alone. We're both learning, separately, which is maybe what we needed all along. The envelope on the piano was separation papers, but it was also something else. It was me finally saying, I see what's happening. I'm not pretending anymore, and I deserve better than this. Whether better means a new version of our marriage or a new life entirely, I still haven't decided. But I know this. I'll never go back to being compared to a ghost. I'll never accept being told I'm not enough while being expected to be grateful for the criticism. The piano still sits in the living room of the house. She still plays it most evenings, but the envelope is gone. The message was received. Whether she can actually change, whether I can trust her again, whether we're compatible at all, those are questions we're still working through. But at least now we're asking them honestly. No more comparisons, no more pretending. Just two people trying to figure out if they actually want each other or if they've been performing a marriage that ended years ago. We have 1 month left in the separation. After that, we decide. Part of me hopes we can fix this. 7 years is a long time to throw away, but another part of me has gotten used to not being measured against someone else, to making decisions that don't get critiqued, to driving whatever car I want without commentary. That part of me is very comfortable being alone. We'll see which part wins.